Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is a topic of the truth about the entertainment industry. So for this video, I'm going to explain in a simple and straightforward way the honest truth about entertainment when it comes to the role it plays in society, as well as a lesson that people can learn from this video, and to be even more specific, a life lesson, okay? So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of the truth about the entertainment industry, the first part I wanted to get across is that entertainment is something that plays a vital role for society, okay? And that is the truth. Contrary to popular belief, where we see that something kind of pointless and stupid, it actually serves a great purpose for reality, let alone civilization to be more exact, because it actually makes life actually interesting, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, when you ask people the basic questions of like, what makes a civilization work well, people are going to obviously use the same basic question, same basic points they use all the time, like it's everything from, having, the best military, the best infrastructure, the best technology, even just straight up down to who has the best sewage system, whatever, yada, 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 farming, etc. You get the point. Anyone who's interested in history, in civilization, and all that type of stuff knows what arguments people are usually going to bring up in the end of the day. But the truth of the matter is, even though yes, that stuff is true, you also have to understand that entertainment actually plays a very important role in actually making society work, okay? Because I've noticed that actually life without entertainment is actually really, and I mean really boring, okay? And when it comes to entertainment, there's two main types of entertainment, okay? There's story-based entertainment and there's music-based entertainment, okay? And to be even more exact, that would fall in the categories of things like TV shows, movies, whether fiction, non-fiction, video games, and of course, no surprise, music. The truth of the matter is, everything you look at, to sum it up, when you're not like talking to family and stuff, and even when you talk to family, a lot of stuff you talk about is based on entertainment-based stuff. Even things that we consider educational, like what's going on with the lions in the Serengeti and so on and so forth, and even history stuff, that's still technically entertainment, just educational entertainment, okay? The truth of the matter is, entertainment is just really just something that's meant to be looked at and enjoyed, to sum it up, okay? Because if you really look at it, pretty much outside of knowing what's going on in our community and stuff, there's no such thing as, so yeah, like I was saying before, of course, when it comes to, of course, shit, that type of stuff, entertainment in general, when there's no, there's nothing, outside of, like, when you talk to family, yeah, like I was saying before, you still bring up things that relate to entertainment and all that type of stuff, okay? And that's exactly what I'm trying to get across here. Entertainment actually really does play a vital role, okay? Outside of what's going on in your local community and so on and so forth, like what's going on around you directly, there's not really that much that's going on, when it comes to things you actually have to know about what's going on in the world. And that's the honest truth. Literally everything we watch, if it's not teaching you like things like how to do this, how to do that, all that type of stuff, like how to cook food, how to, maybe unbutton your shirt, or just stuff that's just like how-to stuff pretty much, then it's pretty much falls in the category of entertainment. Yes, it might be a bit helpful, but it's not something we need to survive, okay? And that's the honest truth about entertainment. Entertainment is what makes our lives actually enjoyable. It is something that makes life actually worth living, because the truth of the matter, without it, specifically music, because music, especially the more enlightened you become, and I've noticed a lot of people have said this the same thing too, you pretty much realize that the world actually revolves around music in one way or the other, which is another topic I might get into one of these days. But if you really think about it, it actually really does. Okay, which I'm not going to go too that much into, but like I said, I might talk about that eventually later on in one of my videos, you know, for this channel, maybe for my other channel, Entertainment Advice channel at some point. But either way, the point is that regardless of what I'm trying to say here, you know, entertainment is what makes the world function. Okay, without it, people will just get bored, and I just feel people are just gonna cause problems for no real reason because there's nothing really to fucking do, you know. And even when it comes to like things that are important for us to know, you know, like world events like World War I, World War II, and all that type of stuff, you know, it's really entertainment in the form of things like films that obviously exaggerate things and stuff for entertainment sakes and stuff that actually makes it something that we actually want to look at, okay? And that's honest truth to it. And that's not even getting into aside from TV shows, movies, you know, music. It also be things like sports. Like, do we need sports to survive? Do we need all those amusement parks to survive? No, fuck no. We don't need that stuff to survive. And that's what I'm trying to say. All this stuff is just meant to make our lives actually more enjoyable and more interesting, and even give us things, you know, specifically to be more exact and new, something to talk about. Aside from something negative happening, like people getting shot or some chaos or something happening. And that's all that is the truth about entertainment. It makes life actually enjoyable instead of people just living for the sake of living, which definitely is not a good thing, and it's just asking for people to cause problems because they're bored and they want something to fucking happen. Okay? So the truth of the matter is, entertainment is something that's very important for society, and I'd even go as far as to say, even though of course it's not as important as things like obviously self-defense, infrastructure, and food, it's definitely something I feel as the world society should take very seriously in order for our society to thrive. You know, because without it, there's really nothing else out there. Besides, if you're interested in living in times of chaos and stuff, that era's pretty much done. All that stuff happened anywhere from 100 to hundreds to thousands of years ago. And especially with the way the world is now, and even how soft people are nowadays, I don't even think they could even handle living like that, like how people lived back then. That was rough. And that's the honest truth, to be quite honest. People could not go through that stuff. And even with the technology we have now, like, we would probably just blow up our planet. But either way, the point is, you know, that's the past, okay? That's not coming back again. That's never coming back again. So in short, to answer your question, we obviously need to find something to obviously make up for that. And entertainment is the thing that makes our lives actually interesting, and it gives people a buzz. And that's the honest truth about it. That's why it's so important for our civilization, okay? For that matter, okay? And obviously with how bad entertainment is going nowadays, it's obviously not making life any more interesting for people, and it's causing more problems and more chaos. And that's the honest truth. So anyway, that is the point I want to make for the video for people. And the lesson that there is to learn from this video, to be quite blunt and honest with you, aside from just the fact that entertainment is good for society, is that so the lesson that there is to learn from the situation is that just because something just doesn't seem extremely you know, in reality something vital, okay, it doesn't mean that it's not vital. Because a lot of people look at certain things and say, okay, that's not this particular thing, that's not that particular thing, it's not something that in general, to sum it up, looks very important as a whole. But the truth of the matter is, something that we might overlook as something trivial, not that important, might actually be something that's actually very, 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 very important, to be quite blunt and honest with you. So the truth is, sometimes we look at things that are aspects of our society or civilization, whatever you like to call it, as irrelevant, but it actually plays a more vital role than we would imagine it to. And that is the truth. So in short, to sum things up, you know, just because something might seem like it's not important doesn't mean that it's not important. Just like entertainment, we think it's not that important, but it actually makes life actually interesting. So it's just a good way, with this example I gave for this video, to enlighten people and know the truth about the world, you know? So you don't think like everybody else in a very straightforward, face value, way, if it's not this or it's not that, then it can't be true. If you're more of the more intellectual part of society, specifically, hopefully, the people watching my videos, you will obviously, hopefully, not think like that, and my videos can help you not think like that, and that is the truth. So anyway, this is my video. This is all to say. I hope you enjoyed it as well as found it informative. And just remember, if you like this video, remember to thumb this video up and the subscribe button for videos like this as well. Not just this video, but videos that are like this. And this is off to say, and simply put, I'm out. So bye.